Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be going over 709 of The Flash that aired tonight. Going to be doing my review of it, breaking the episode down, all that. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you're new. Also, YouTube subscribing people, make sure you're subscribed. Comment. YouTube looks at the comments of the algorithm, so if you comment more, the algorithm will pick it up. My video will get out there. And yeah. But thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video. And thanks for the support. Appreciate it. So the episode pretty much started off with Nora telling Barry to pick a side, and between either Nora, which will be killing the forces, or basically the forces side, saving them from Nora. Barry obviously chose to save the forces instead of destroying them. Nora left and said she's going to finish the job herself, meaning killing the forces. And they pretty much confirmed that Lex is dead. Which I think we pretty much figured it out. I think there was still confusion with some people. There you go. Confirmation that Lex is 100% dead. In the same time, Team Flash figured out that they created the forces when Barry got his speed back in 703. So Barry wanted time travel back to that night where he got his speed back in 703 to stop the forces from ever happening, so Nora wouldn't go and kill the forces, and then also those people who are the forces can stay alive. They just wouldn't have the powers. So yeah, and then we recently found out that Iris has a connection with the forces because she was used to creating the Speed Force. Same with Barry, and they're both connected to not only the Speed Force but all the other forces. And yeah, so that's pretty much silent there. Barry time traveled to the year 2000 to get Wells. They were at his home, I'm assuming, with Tess and Wells' wife, and they went back to present day, and yeah. And when they came back, they were working on the Tachyon device, and Cisco was still a little bit iffy about it. He wasn't sure if it was a good idea. Obviously, Iris wasn't either. They had a whole conversation about that. But Dion showed up, and when they're all there, and Dion actually slowed down time, and Barry joined that too, I guess. They didn't really explain it very well. But Barry was in the slowing down time, whatever you want to call it. And it was a very good scene between those two. I think it was very good. Basically, Barry telling Dion that he wants to save them, not take away their powers for no reason, but to save them from Nora so that they won't die. Dion didn't really get that. Neither did the other forces. I mean, they talked to Psyche, he didn't get that either. But that was a good scene, and then Dion actually slowed down Barry, which was surprising. Because you would think Barry's fast enough to keep up with that, but I guess not. And he ended up kind of destroying the Tachyon device that they were using, or like de-amplifying it, if you want to use that word. And at the same time, Chester actually took a big, important part of the Tachyon device for that mission and hid it so Dion wouldn't find it, which is smart by him. Actually helped them after that part. Iris and Allegra and Camilla go to Nora's house where Nora was murdered when Barry was a kid to try to find Nora. They end up finding Psyche, and they fought him, and then something happened during that fight. Barry and Joe were talking about his decision to change the timeline. Joe basically told Barry that they're like his kids, because Barry and Iris created the forces, so that's why they're all connected. Which ended up influencing Barry's decision to not end the forces, to let them live. But another interesting scene there, when they went back, was when Wells took off his glass in 703 and looked back, like in an opposite direction. He saw future Wells and future Barry, which is what we saw in the scene where our Barry and Timeless Wells saw past Team Flash with Wells there. That's what he was looking at 703. So that was a good thing. I think that was a good part to put in, because it also shows this is a thing set in the timeline. Like, they did this multiple times in the future, and they still did it in the present, and more likely to do it in the past when it passes. So I think that was a good thing they put in. Alexa ended up coming back after Barry and Iris used the Speed Force in them, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. But they used Speed Force less in them, which is connected to the Strength Force and all that. And they brought Alexa back. And then Cisco and Camilla wanted to leave Central City, which we already know. Obviously, this would be Cisco's exiting point for the show, whenever he does. And, yeah. Now, obviously, Tom Cavanaugh, Carlos Valdez, like I said already, for Cisco, are set to leave after Season 7. This can be Cisco's exiting point. Wells already had his exiting point back in 703. I think that's very fair to say. And I think it's also fair to say that this episode with Wells in it was just Tom being a guest star. So if we do see Cisco again after he leaves Central City, which I would assume probably next episode, the episode after, it'll more than likely be him guest starring instead of him being a series regular, which is what we were expecting when this was announced. And then the episode basically ended off with Nora going to Dion, finding him in that park, wherever the hell he was, and pretty much doing the phase hand thing that all speedsters have. It looked a little bit faster than normal. I don't know if that's just me or what, but it really did look faster. Which I guess does make sense, but yeah. I really do wish, whether it's in 710 or before this Forces story's done, that they really realized that Nora's not a person. And Barry said that in the episode, but they still kind of went with it. Like, Nora's a person, you know? Like, she has feelings. Not really. I mean, yeah, she had that one episode where she cried, boo-hoo. I mean, she's not a real person. Like, the real Nora's in the ground after another speedster that she helped create killed her. So, yeah, I think they need to realize that. That's one thing if I had to criticize about this episode and the other ones. They don't really realize that Nora's not a person. The only person who's really realized that was Barry. He said to Iris in the episode that Nora's a thing, not a person. They need to keep that going. And hopefully they will. Probably not, but you know, can't wait to find out. But yeah, I think this is a good episode, especially with that Barry and Dion little, I was gonna say fight scene, but there wasn't really a fight. Slowing down time scene. It was a really good scene. So yeah. If you did enjoy the video, hit the like button down below, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, have a good night, wear a mask, stay safe, do your part, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.